Guys, Japan's population is dying. They're like estimating that like by 2100, a lot of these prefectures might be shut down because no one's having kids in Japan. So the government, I'm going to show you guys the articles. The government is launching a dating app. This is hopefully to like get to go out there and talk and get married, have kids, have babies. It's crazy to me. Like Japan will do everything but release the restrictions of the visa and how to get to Japan. I think they're worried, or in my opinion, I think they're worried because if too many foreigners just come to Japan, like the integrity of Japan might be compromised, as in like the history of Japan. It will not be the same Japan, right? If all these foreigners come here and are living in Japan, right? But at the same time, like, what do you guys think they should do? Let me know in the comments. They're already blocking off like the Mount Fuji sign from the Lawson. Like over tourism is a thing here, especially in Kyoto, Osaka, Tokyo, all these main big places, right? So what would happen if they released the visa restrictions? Let me know.
What happened to the government of Japan just listening to the people? You can find solution from just listening to the people. If they are worried about Japanese culture being compromised, then they should start listening to Japanese people of why they are allowing their population to die off. It is the toxic work culture, because I've seen someone say things like welcome to black company, and to my understanding is a black company is a toxic work environment that exploits the labor of Japanese laborers who work in companies where companies overwork them. So they don't want their children to be overburdened as they are overburdened, depressed, going through a lot of anxiety, depression, and stuff like that. It is understanding your community. And if you bring foreigners, your culture most definitely will change. Those people coming in, they are clearly not Japanese. They did not grow up speaking Japanese, eating Japanese food, speaking the Japanese language, interacting as a Japanese, because Japan has built itself as a cultural place. It has built itself off its history, its language, just like any other culture, right? They have based their identities through their names, through a lot of M&A characters, and their brutal history of being violent. It is the fact. It is the truth. So we urge them to listen to the public, because after all, they still want Japanese children. They still want a Japanese couple to, because that's the fundamental issue at hand. Just like all these Asian countries that are going through a decline of population, they want their people to procreate, and it will only happen if they start listening to the people of that specific community. If you start bringing in foreigners, then that is not the solution. I thought I screenshot the comments, but people are saying the same thing. And not that they're saying it, they're saying things like, not to be racist, you can't be racist to me, you can only be a prejudiced. But anyway, you can only work with your people at this point. I would not convert and become Japanese. I am not Japanese, okay? I will never be a Japanese person, okay? I do not want to birth Japanese, mixed Japanese kids. That's just my personal opinion. That is just me. I would not be involved with a Japanese man, procreate, and then change the decoy of my cultural background. I would never do that. That's just me. Please, guys. It is my personal opinion, okay? I would never do that. But for those who are interested in doing that, that's fine. Okay, but you have to understand that you'll never really be Japanese, and your children are going to be reminded that they're not Japanese. The society of the people, no matter how open-minded the government wants to be, not everyone will be as open-minded, okay? They're not.
Well, in my opinion, if you think about it, like if you like lower the visa restrictions, let foreigners come in, have like an easier time to like live here, get other people to live here, right? Obviously, the population is going to increase with easier visa restrictions. Like it's very hard to get in Japan. I don't think you guys understand how hard it is to get in Japan. You need like a shit ton of like you need a company to sponsor you. You need to apply for like a visa, right? Which getting a Japanese visa was extremely difficult for me. I don't know if it is for you guys. If you're a student, it probably is easier, but even still, you need like X amount of money. But just getting into Japan in general, if you're not like a tourist, how do you say it? It's just very difficult. So I honestly think if they let down the visa restrictions, or like, I don't know, if you stay here for 2 years and your visa's good, right? Then a lot of people live in Japan is what I'm trying to say. If you're a foreigner, you don't have a company to sponsor you. Just the population is sadly just going down here.
He's not answering the question. The question still remains: how will it increase Japanese population if they bring in foreigners? How will it increase Japanese people if they bring in foreigners? We are curious about it. It's not about even being a prejudice here, it's just a logical thinking. If we bring in other people into this space, we have to respect that they have an identity of their own. They have a way of thinking of their own, their language, religious background, all of those things. It won't go away just by bringing them into the country and hope it boosts your population. What you have to do is work with your own community of people. You have a toxic work environment. The people are saying your toxic work environment, it is what is pushing us to not procreate mainly. It could be other elements as well. I'm not aware with what's going on in Japan at this point because I'm not interested. I have too many problems in my country. We are the most unequal country in the world as South Africans. So believe me, I'm not concerned about Japanese issues. But from what I know, you guys can also inform me in the comments what else I have missed. But what I know is that their toxic work environment is also the major reason to why the people are saying, you know what, screw you. You see, we're done. And it's mostly also in Korea as well, South Korea, where you see women are starting the 4B movements. They're like, we don't want to deal with men, whether you're good men or bad men. We don't want to deal with you because of how you treat us, how women, we are not like your toys to play with. And it's just the cycle of things that are happening to women also that has contributed to the decreasing. The patriarchy as well being so rampantly high, where men do not do self introspect. Men are raised to literally just be ignorant. False, 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 false. I hope you heard that. So men are not doing internal evaluation of themselves, and now these women have to deal with you, and they don't want to deal with that. And Asia is taking it to the extreme level. Like, we are not there in Africa yet, which will be another problem if we get there. But I'm not willing to give a man a child yet. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I don't want to bring about that kind of thing in my life. But if you really want to solve your problem, Japan is to listen to your people. Listen to the people of Japan, okay? Even though the elders, I've seen a video, people were saying, we don't mind, let the people come, the elder generation, they're like, come, let them, be part of Japan culture. And no, I don't want to. I'm happy at my country, fixing problems in my country. I'm sorry. Because you're going to deal with the discrimination as well and the toxic environment, because it's not going to change any soon. Capitalism is exploiting the workforce, the people of that country, and people are like, we're done. So work on that, Japan. Probably stop doing this dating thing, because it's not gonna work. Okay, you don't want foreign people filling up Japan. You don't want people like this in majority in Japan. You know that, right? That means you're gonna have to change literally just about everything. You're gonna have to put this now. So do you want this? No, I don't think so. No.